Hey, OneOfAMine here with Mr. Beefy, and he thinks he's a hot dog. It's really not that hot in here. In fact, we just had the air conditioner going, and I shut it off so I could just do a short record here. But now I have. Okay, so I took my call, put Mr. Beefy out. He's lounging. He started drinking some of the seawater, and then he'd run away. And then he'd go back because he was thirsty, so I knew he was thirsty. So he wouldn't drink his water this morning. You know, and I was like, "You need to drink." He's like, "No, I don't want to drink. I'm good." So then as soon as I get him in the car, then he's ready to drink. So, and that's it. So what it's like, you know what they say: you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. And I've learned that about when I sit on panels and stuff and speak about sobriety and addictions with people. That you know, you have to really want that before you can get it. And you know, because there is work to it, and a lot of times we're our own worst enemy, and you know how that works. So we will be the one that'll tell us that we can't do it, or somebody in our family too will tell us. Like, I got a great idea, and the universe will float this great idea to you. And maybe it is great, maybe it's not. But your friends, the family, are usually the ones that could tell you, man, I don't know about that, or something like that. And that could kill it, you know. But here's the thing, it's you that lets it die, right? I mean, it's up to you, because, I mean, if you can be discouraged by what somebody else tells you, then, geez, you might never, ever get anything done. So that's what I learned is, actually, this is just an intro, too, to a video. So I was making an eagle the other day. And so I was cutting it, and I did a voiceover on it and stuff like that. And I was like, you know, it's just, I've taken it down 3 times. So, so I'm just going to do this little intro here, and then you can watch that video and listen to whatever the nice music is there on it. It's a sped up video because it took me like, I think I had overall time. You'll see it moves around. The piece moves around a little bit there too. And so I just see, look at what I do go through for you. So I got some new gear. I got another camera and a different tripod, so we're going to shoot different angles, and we got a drone, and so we're going to try some different shots and stuff and mix it up with the art thing. And so, but what I want to do is to try and tell you, you know, about that little snippet of stuff about how we kill our own dreams and stuff. So don't kill your own dream, live, because if you're younger than I am, which you probably have everybody out there. But you know, you can waste your time and it goes by really fast. You know, like when I first started drinking and doing drugs, it was right after my father died, and I was 12, 13 years old, and that ran for 50 years. So that's a long time. Now, I had a lot of good times, bad times, but you know, the thing is once you dump your addictions, then it seems like your life really starts. You know, it's because you're free of those addictions, you know, which can be harmful to you. I mean, if you're addicted to good stuff, then good for you. But, you know, and this isn't about addictions. This is about how you can overcome them a little bit. And art is one of those things. So I encourage people, go out and get some art going. I got some new things that I'm going to be, excuse me, I've got some new things that I'm going to be starting that are going to be new ventures for me in art. Oh, there's a Jeep up on the hill. Oh, here, let me see if I can turn it around. Sorry, my windows are dirty. Except for the one I cleaned behind me. Adventure at the beach. So some of these guys, they don't have such a good time, but I have a Jeep, but I just saw a Jeep get stuck. It was a white Jeep. And I saw 2 wheels spinning, so I don't think the guy had it in 4-wheel drive. But it was a young guy. I think his dad was trying to teach him how to drive. So I think it was a dad joke. Like, maybe he didn't put it in a 4-wheel drive, but he did. That guy did really well. So back to the message. This is just adding to this video. It's very short though. Like I said, it's a couple hours. I dance around the different places in the beach to do the carving and finish it off. And I brought extra tools this time. We're putting more details into our stuff. It's, if you don't have a very long extension cord, taking to the beach. Lost a saw. My 20-inch. Oh, there. Yeah, he missed him. He's going up the hill. That was good. Yeah, he made it good too. So, yeah, that'll be on, maybe I'll put that on this video. I'm not sure. So I'm getting out to use this weird thing for the very first time. It's kind of weird feeling, but we'll see how it works. If it doesn't get in the way of the chainsaw. I've had, I looked at one of the videos the other day and it was like, wow, I got to be more careful. So, follow safety procedures a little bit better. I came pretty close. I had an actual nick, and then I looked, there's a nick in these overalls that I got. And that could be that, you know, the saw was off, and when I'm moving it around, it could still be sharp and it snag you sometimes. The other one wasn't, though. I felt it. And so, and I hit myself once. There was a T-post. I was cutting trees on the farm, and the blade was still running. And that's one of the things, you know, when you're done, when that stops, put the brake on. That's a good idea. And so, you know, I was moving around, going from tree to tree and stuff, and there was a T-post that I couldn't see because it was, well, you ever have a blind spot? It was a blind spot like that, but it was like, you know, there was rusted, you know, and there's up against the trees, you know, there was a distance, but yeah, you know, it's had a 2D brain going. And so I'm looking for the trees that I'm going to cut and didn't see the T-post and just bumped it. And of course, because the chain's moving, well, when it hit the T-post, it blew back and it hit me in the leg and in the knee. And well, I couldn't show you pictures of that. So yeah, they pulled the video on that one. So I'm fortunate it healed as quickly as it did. But I made a funny video out of that though, but it's somewhere back in the archives, probably on TikTok. I have all kinds of weird shit on there. So in any case, I'm going to get out here. Normally I'm standing more over there. Sorry, front window's dirty. And that Jeep just went up that one. He came down over there. But yeah, normally I'm doing stuff up there on that side of the beach. So I did that really, an owl that he didn't come out as well as I wanted to. And, you know, I could blame some of the tools because I have had a grinder that the battery kept going out on, but yeah, it wasn't it. It just wasn't feeling it. And sometimes I'll come down and I'll carve so much stuff that at the end of a weekend or 2 or 3 days of being here, I think today's 4th day of me being down here this trip, but I'm trying to pull pieces off of a big old red sequoia. Got great pictures of that. Got great slabs. Oof, I'll show you one of those in this video that I'm cutting. It's in this one, but I'm going to go out there with this thing and it'll be this one. And I've already pre-cut this piece before I blocked it out. And, you know, I get ahead of myself, you know, because I'm trying to see the vision, you know, because I don't plan it. You know, there's some really great carvers out there, you know, and I'm monkey see, monkey do kind of guy. That's how I pick up a lot of my art. And so I see somebody and I'll, you know, just trash through, you know, some people call it death scrolling, but I think that's mindlessly, you know, just absorbing and consuming the crap that's on there. And I specifically look for all kinds of the same crap, you know? So it's like, I'll look at, you know, resin art, and then I'll just, you know, I'll consume a bunch of resin art, or you know, acrylic painting and, you know, acrylic paint blobbing and stuff like that. And then, or pours, you know, and, you know, and then that if I find something that's new, and that's the thing that I've got coming up, and I'm not going to float the big, long Japanese name because I can't remember it. But the thing is it's an ink. It's transferring ink to paper, you know, or to silk. And so I've got I got some silk handkerchiefs and stuff, but before that, I'm just going to start because I haven't done it yet. Well, no, I did it once, but it didn't come out right because, well, there's a method to it. And so before I get into that, but basically you're putting ink on water and then transferring it to a paper or a cardstock, and it goes back thousands of years. And so, or you put it on printing a textile. So saw that, very interested in that. So I'm going to be trying that. And I'm trying to do something that's a how-to from the beginning, from somebody that's never really done it. So, and the materials to get that are very inexpensive. You probably do it for under $30, $40. So I'll be going over a video on that here real quick, like real soon. But again, this is just an intro for the other eagle, and I'm pulling the video off of that, the audio off of that, and I'm just going to put this one on there and let you guys watch that video if you're so inclined to watch it. I watch it to the end. The end is, I think, just a great ending on that one. But you know, everybody says that, you know. But you can just cut to the end. You don't have to watch the whole thing. But and I do appreciate it when people watch from the beginning to the end. So, you know, I try to not make videos too long, but this is obviously going to add to it because I already started and ended for the phone call and stuff. And Mr. Beefy, he's out there. He's going to sleep now. He's fine in there. So I'm going to get out here into the ocean air, and I'm going to do some grinding. Like I said, I've already started blocking this one out and stuff. But that's the message: is don't defeat yourself. Don't allow yourself to be defeated. That's one of the ways that you have to do it, is awareness. You know, it's awareness. You have to have awareness. If you don't have awareness, you can end up into addictions. If you have animosity, you can end up into addictions. Resentments. You know, these all lead to feeding our addictions, because our addictions are the way that we make ourselves feel better. Because, and I think I've said this before, usually we are using them to check out and not to check in. And so that's what a lot of times what we need to do, is check into ourselves before we check out. But if we're constantly checking out all the time and using, you know, like drugs or alcohol on a repetitive basis to do that, well, that's what an addiction is, right? Especially if it becomes detrimental to your relationships, to yourself, to your health, you know. And eventually it will. Or if you, and when I say eventually, you know, like take it from somebody for 50 years. So, yeah, it can get bad. And, you know, you can have parts where your life is good and then it goes bad, and which it does anyway. But it's how you react to it and being aware of how you react to it. So I guess that's the message, is that you can control that. And so I know that there's been times where, because people say when I do talks or panels, and I've been blessed to get to do another one tomorrow, get to meet with a bunch of guys and talk to them that are currently going through rehab. And I love doing those because the people that are really in there, that really want it, they listen to you. And I'm very compassionate about it. That's why I'm saying something to you right now about it. And hopefully the people that are out there that are listening get that message. There's a lot of people that are just here to see the carving or that. And so this becomes redundant, and they're going to fast forward through it. And good, you know, because this is just like my art with that message. And that's what I figure, that's one of the ways I can pay it forward, is sharing, you know, what's worked for me. So, and not just showing you my art and doing bad editing. It's learning, you know, so I'm learning, you know, how to do the editing better, how to not point my backside to the camera all the time, and be cognitive of that. I get into a flow and I get focused. And so not every pose that you're going to see in the videos is the best when I'm bent over in front of the camera. But doing art has been one of the things that saved me. I said that lots of times in videos. Then, you know, I said also that there's a lot of other things, you know, like, and one of them that I want to talk about is having a higher power. I know, you know, that's a God thing, but I'm not sure if it's really a God thing. You could say it's God, the universe, source, whatever you want to say, you know, or however you want to put it. When I first started into recovery 807 days ago, it was brought up to me, which I was very religious, then I was an atheist, and, you know, now I'm in a place where I believe there's something more than me. That's it. That's all you have to do, is believe that there's something bigger than yourself. And so it could be, somebody said it was their cat. And so, okay, good enough for me. But as long as there's something bigger than you that you can, you know, like for me, it's the universe, and the universe speaks to me in certain ways, I think. And maybe it does to you too. Or it's not that if it does to you too, it does. It's whether you can see it or not. That's the way it works. You know? And a lot of times it is, you know, it's like when I was doing art, and I was thinking about this just a little while ago too. Man, this is going to run long here. But I do got to get it out. But I'm bending. I don't talk to anybody except for Mr. Beefy. Now he's asleep. But it's like there was, I was thinking back, like when I first took an art class, and it was like, wow, that was in the 80s, and I was like, well, geez, well, I was like 30 years old. I was born in 59, so it 89, if it was 89, I think it was earlier than that. That's 30 years. And I was like, wow, I've been playing with art for over 36 years. So but see, I used to, I took that art class, and it was one of the only classes I took, because one of the things that I learned is, even people that are teaching you something, they learned it from somebody else. And, sometimes they're not that good, and you learn that when you start getting into the classes and stuff, like, wow, this teacher's really really good. And this other teacher, they know all of the tactical or statistical way, or the way, that I don't know the word I'm looking for here, but the meticulous way to get something done, but they're doing it, but it's not like the flow of the artist that's the teacher, because it's just like, you can learn something by going to school, but that doesn't mean that you're basically really good at it. I guess that's it. And if maybe it's not if they could, I think you can still love it and stuff. And maybe it's just the way it's the communication with another person. Maybe it could be just that, because they did their art, and they taught and stuff, and they're a good teacher, and I love them. But yeah, I look down the road, the way that they communicated, I think, with me, and the way that worked. It was one of those things that it turned me off to art. It made my art be like everybody else's art, and it's very hard for me to compete, because there's a lot of other people that were at the same time as me. Maybe they did it a little longer, or there's a lot of people that are very natural. And like, for instance, in this case, this was watercolor painting, and I had a different methodology of watercolor painting, and it turned out to be something that ended up where there were some people that were ahead of me, as far as being able to put in the details and have more like almost photorealistic, paintings. And so you strive for that, and then you get kind of competitive, and as good as you get, there's always somebody better, right? And then you see somebody, I think it was, what really killed me was the message. Oh, he's trying to get a bird. The message that I was shooting out there, it was, when you're defeating yourself, that's how you do it, is, you set yourself a bar, and then you convince yourself that you've gotten as high as you could get, and you can't get higher than that. Like, I'll never, and then all it takes is somebody to cut it down a little farther, and that could be your friends, your family, or again, just an outside source. Like, I remember I turned on the television, and it was like, Sunday only, come on down to the expo center and you'll see, 8x10 paintings, $49. It wasn't quite that much, but they're big paintings, couch hanger paintings, that are 3 feet by 4 feet, and they're $79, $159. And sure, they're slabbed out, and sometimes they're painted by multiple people, or they're stenciled out kind of, but some of them are pretty good artists. And it just like, wow, I put so much into my art, I could never afford to sell something like that for that price, and how it makes you feel like, wow. So it's like, if you're making custom motorcycles, or so, it's probably a bad analogy, but if you're making customized motorcycles, and then somebody comes along and makes one that's just exactly customized like yours, or the same look, but they've mechanized the system to where it's a fraction of the price. How people will go right to buying that. And I guess maybe it wasn't a bad analogy, because here's a perfect example. I wanted a Jeep for years. I got one, so I manifested that. But it was there he is, lurking about still. And so, but my first go-to alternative was, it was called a Suzuki Samurai, because they were so inexpensive, and they made them look like a Jeep, and they made them like that to basically compete with the Jeep. So there you go with that analogy. it's like that my art, you know, somebody could come in and just make these giant, gorgeous paintings too, right? I mean, you know, they're art painting, they're coast paintings, you know, they're scenes of the beach and clouds and a rock and a wave hitting it, you know, and they're $50. And I wouldn't even fathom doing that for, well, never mind. It doesn't matter. It was just discouraging. And this is, again, the message, which has been a long time coming here. And yeah, I'm going to let you go now. So, because I'm going to get grinding, because the sea is going to come up here, and this is all going to be underwater here pretty quick. And so, it's been fun. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video that I'm showing you here, and I hope you check out this one. It's going to be with this new cam thing here, which is weird. Hopefully it doesn't get in the way, and it gives you a better look. I'm actually going to be using 2 cameras this time, so we'll be able to do some different cuts. We'll be doing some different editing, working with some different editors and stuff like that. So try to raise the bar on what we're providing you. And I really wanted to touch out and, you know, speak to the people that, because there's, like I said, I'm not just doing art of all different kinds, but I want to get that message out. So the messages I think that I'll be talking about will be more consistent than the art, because you might not be here for glass work. You might only like chainsaw art. You might not want to be here for pottery, you know. It's pottery time. So, and I'm going to be mixing it up more in the future, I think. I like to. I want to. You know, so why do I stumble on that? Well, there's outside sources on stuff that, you know, I can't reveal at this time, but I will tell you that, you know, I hold a lot for the future. I hold a lot for the future. Times are changing and stuff, and so are people. And that's the message here is change. You need to. That's called evolution. So evolve. Put art in your life. If you don't have art in your life, get it. If you do have art in your life, get more. Try different stuff. It stretches your brain. Neuroplasticity. It's a thing. Google it. And you'll see, it stretches your brain. It's like making your muscle work. And so open your third eye, get that chakra going. When we get to 500 subscribers, I got a singing bowl that we're going to give away. I've got some tarot cards that we're going to give away. So open yourself up to new ideas, new things, a higher consciousness. There's a way to achieve that. And you can do certain things like beat addictions when you learn how to do certain things like manifest, you know, and you're actually manifesting all of the time. You probably know that. If you don't, Google it and check it out. Yeah, but you're always creating your reality. And so even when you don't know it, so, and whatever you focus on, right? So your frequency is what you frequently see. You'll hear me say that a lot. So make what you see, what you consume, something that gives you something, and keep asking yourself that question: is what I'm doing right now, is that what I want to be doing? You know? And if it's not, then you have to ask yourself why, right? And so, and start talking to me, please. I'd like to see some of you guys' comments, your feedback. If you skip through this part, that's great. If you want to comment on this part, that's great. My only thing is, you know, don't go at each other in the comment sections for whatever reasons. I don't like to edit stuff out of there. And so it's just better if everybody's a human being to each other. And so, but I haven't had a problem with that at this juncture. I think that there's always going to be some people that are going to step in to raise something or say something. I pay no attention to the negativity, but I don't tolerate somebody attacking somebody else that's on the channel comments or anything. So please don't do that stuff. I shouldn't say anything because I know you guys are all good people for the most part. But I know there's also these guys, they call them trolls or something out there. Mr. Beefy usually takes care of them for me. So in any case, we'll get to our carving thing here. I hope you watch that video. It'll come out soon. And this one will probably be uploaded here after I use this thing today to cut this here. So thank you again very much. And don't be discouraged. Don't discourage yourself. Get some art going. Start some new projects. Check out the ink one that I got coming up. And yeah, we'll have fun. Peace and love. Oh, hold on. I'll be right back.
Pass the pickaxe, I dig where hearts align. Roots run deep, but the stars are defined. Spit my truth raw, no gold-plated schemes. This channel ain't a script, it's living the dream. One of a mine, carved straight from my soul. Diamonds in the rough, every part takes a toll. Life's a treasure map, I'm following the sign. to my wild, one of a mine. Country grit mixed with beats that collide, pioneering vibes, no place to hide. Frontier hustle with the mic in my hand, a trailblazer's anthem for my own brand. Digging deep past what the eyes find, raw and real, no walls to confine. Settle in, partner, it's more than a show. This is my claim, watch the story grow. One of a mine, carved straight from my soul. Diamonds in the rough, every part takes a toll. Life's a treasure map, I'm following the signs. Welcome to my wild, one of a mine. Digging deep past what the eyes find, raw and real, no walls to confine. Settle in, partner, it's more than a show. This is my claim, watch the story grow. One of a mine, carved straight from my soul. Diamonds in the rough, every part takes a toll. Life's a treasure map, I'm following the signs. Welcome to my wild, one of a mine. One of a mine, carved straight from my soul. One of a mine, carved straight from my soul. Diamonds in the rough, every part takes a toll. Life's a treasure map, I'm following the signs. Welcome to my wild, one of a mine. One of a mine. One of a mine.